Today we're looking at 2.3, simplifying variable expressions. There's a few terms we're going to need to know, or words, since we're learning the word term. I don't want to call that term, all of them terms, and get you confused. A few words we need to know. Terms, coefficients, constant terms, and like terms. And let's see what that would be in this first expression. Okay, terms are the things separated by addition signs or subtraction signs. Usually we change all subtraction to addition, so I just say addition signs. So this is a term, this is a term, this is a term, and this is a term. This has four terms, 5x, 4x, 7, and 3. Okay, coefficient is basically the number multiplied to the variable or the number in front of the variable. So this only has two coefficients, and that is 5 and 4, 5 and 4. Constant terms are those terms that aren't associated with variables, because variables vary, constants stay the same. So that would be 7 and 3. It only has two constant terms. You're looking for numbers without variables. And like terms are those terms that are alike. So these two terms are alike. They're both constants. These two terms are alike. They're both variable terms with an x, okay? And when you have like terms, you can add them. So if I have 5x and 4x, which are like terms, I just add them, and I add them by adding the coefficients, 5 and 4. And it's like 5 cows and 4 cows gives me 9 cows, okay, 9x. Then I add the 7 and 3, and I get positive 10, so it would just be plus 10. If for some reason I got negative 10, I could write minus 10 or plus negative 10. Okay, let's look at the next slide. Identify the terms. Well, let's look at the terms. First, what we're going to do, and I think it's helpful when you're first doing this to do it this way, change everything to addition. So we're going to keep it, change it, and then we're going to keep it, change it. Okay, that's a bad addition sign, but it is what it is. Okay, now everything's addition. Now the terms are 8y, 2, negative 7y, negative 4. The like terms, well, the first set of like terms are 8y and negative 7y. The second set of like terms are 2 and negative 4. Okay. Coefficients, the number in front of the variables, are 8 and negative 7. I'm including the signs with them, but I'm not including the variables when I talk about coefficients. And then the constant terms are those numbers without variables, so that'd be 2 and negative 4. Now, we're going to simplify by adding the like terms. That means I can add this to that, and that gives me 8 and negative 7, well, that's 8 minus 7, which is 1. So I get 1y. You can write it with a 1 in front of it or just y by itself. Now here I get a 2 plus a negative 4. Well, 2 plus negative 4, you subtract, and it's a sign of the bigger number, so it's negative 2. You can either write that as minus 2 for negative 2, or you can write it plus negative 2. Either way works. So it's y plus negative 2 for your answer. Let's look at this one. Okay, the terms are, let's keep it, change it, make everything addition. Okay, there we go. Terms are negative 7, 4x, negative 3x, and 15. Like terms, negative 7 and 15, and then 4, negative 3x. Okay. Coefficients, I'm just looking for the variables. I get 4 and negative 3. Those are coefficients. And then constant terms are the numbers without variables, negative 7 and 15. Now I'm going to add the like terms to simplify. 4x and negative 3x, it's 4 and negative 3. That gives me 1x. You don't really write it with a 1, but I just did it that time. 15, positive 15 and negative 7 means you subtract. Okay. When you subtract, you get 8, and it's positive because the bigger number is positive. So it's positive 8, 1x plus 8. Okay. Let's do a few more of these. Here, I'm not going to identify everything. I'm just going to add the like terms. So we're going to keep it, change it with all of these. I'm going to go through these pretty quick. Okay. 10y plus 8y is 18y. 18y and negative 3y is 15y. So 15y. Now those are gone, and if it helps to mark them out, mark them out. Sorry, I marked out the wrong ones. That's going to get you the wrong answer every time. Okay, then I have negative 2 and a positive 4. That's going to be a positive number because the 4 is bigger. It's going to be positive 2. Okay, subtract because the signs are different. Same sign add, different sign subtract. Okay, here, keep it, change it. Okay, add like terms, the 5x and the negative x, and if it helps, put a 1 in front of that. Negative 1x and positive 5x gives me 4x. Negative 4 and positive 2 gives me negative 2. And again, I could write that as minus 2 or plus negative 2, either way. Down here, I've got, let's keep it, change it. change it, and change it. I'm going to put a 1 there just to help us. Okay, so 4x and negative 3x is 1x. 1x and negative 1x is 0x. That means it just goes away. I don't write 0x, I just write nothing. Okay, so x's are gone. Now I've got a negative 7 and a positive 10. That is positive 3 because you subtract. So my answer is just 3. The x goes away. Okay. Now we've got to do distributive property with this. Okay, so we're going to multiply the 3 times the 2y and we get 6y. We multiply the 3 times the 5 and we get 15. And you're done. Okay, there's nothing to add. There's no like terms, so we just got rid of the parentheses using distributive property. Okay, going here, first we got to get rid of the parentheses before we do anything. So we're going to change it. Now, in front of the parentheses, when you don't see anything, I encourage you just to know and to write sometimes if you need to. That's a 1. Think of that as a 1. So I changed that negative to a positive, and I'm multiplying everything by negative 1. So the first thing you do is this. That's a bad arrow, but it's an arrow. So I get negative 3x, and here I get positive 10. 2 negatives multiplied positive. 1 negative, 1 positive gives me a negative. Then I just bring this down, okay? Okay? Now, in front of this x, remember I said think of it as a negative 1x, okay? So it's negative 1 and negative 3. That's add, same sign sum, negative 4x. Then it's 4 and 10, which gives me 14. So I get negative 4x plus 14 for my answer. Okay, one more of these. We're going to keep it, change it. Now, the first step is getting rid of the parentheses, so that's going to be a negative 2x. And then we go negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. Okay? Now, I've got rid of the parentheses. Bring it down. Bring it down. Right, everything's addition, right? We just got our signs on our numbers. So, like terms, 8x and negative 2x is 6x. 2 and negative 4, negative 2. So 6x minus 2 is my answer, or 6x plus negative 2. Okay? Next slide. When you're finding perimeter, you're simply adding sides together. And when you're adding sides, you add like terms. Okay? So what I want to do, I'm going to keep it, change it. I'm going to put a 1 in front of this to help. Now, remember, perimeter is just adding sides. So when I add sides, I add like terms. What's like the 3x? Well, the 1x and the negative 2x. So it's 3x plus 1x, which is 4x, plus negative 2x, which is 2x. Now, there is nothing in any of these to change the 8. So the 8 stays the same. It's going plus 8. So 2x plus 8 is the perimeter of this in terms of x. Okay, with a rectangle, there's 4 sides, so I've got a label. I'm going to go ahead and label all sides. Now, add like terms. 4x plus 4x, that's 8x, plus 2x is 10x, plus 2x is 12x. Okay, that gives us 12x. Then, keep it, change it. Okay, so negative 2 and negative 2 gives me negative 4. 12x plus negative 4. Okay, one more slide. Anne uses a taxi service to travel from the airport to her home. The taxi service charges $2.20 per mile and tips the driver $5 when she arrives at her house. Write an expression that represents what Anne pays after traveling in miles. Now, this isn't going to be really adding like terms. We're just practicing writing expressions here. So I want to look at a couple of things here. 220 per mile is a rate. Per is telling you it's adding for each mile. So it's repeated addition, which means multiplication. So if I'm writing an expression, this is getting multiplied. And it's getting multiplied by whatever represents miles, and in this case, m. Okay, so in the expression, it's 2.2. I don't have to write the 0. I'm not writing a dollar sign because it's an expression. Times m. Okay. Now, the tip, $5, is just paid one time. You don't add $5 over and over again. You just add it one time. So that's all I'm going to do is add $5 to this. So the expression after m miles is 2.2 times m, which is what this tells us to do, plus 5. Again, we're not adding like terms here. We're just practicing writing expressions. That should take care of us for today. If I can get over here.